Live, yo, we live. Thank y'all for
Boy,
tuning
boy,
in. Stay Dangerous Podcast. We're on another episode. Peace, peace to the gods, peace to the queens, man.
you dig?
I hope y'all had a happy Juneteenth because we don't celebrate the 4th. And if I feel like y'all celebrating the 4th, I'm going to run up on you like the Black Panther and go, Smicket. You
I ain't
dig?
gonna lie. I ate some barbecue yesterday, man, with the family, man.
Oh, man, come on,
Yeah.
man.
But I
But
wasn't celebrating. I was
y'all
just
got
celebrating.
y'all had a different reason too though.
Yeah, that too.
You know what I mean? So I mean that's cool, man. What go on? What y'all got going on? Y'all see the topic, man. I'm finna type it in the comments and pin it so y'all understand what the topic is. And I want y'all to make sure y'all comment below. If you don't know, I go by the name of DJ912. And my partner himself go by the name of Gagasi. Was it Sagan?
Yes, Gassi Sagan, my brother.
Gagasi Sagan, you know what I'm saying? And
Shaka Zulu, matter of fact. Call me Shaka.
Shaka.
I'm just pushing.
Hey, y'all see the topic, man. Is the black woman in her rightful position in the black society? If not, what is her rightful position? So, I ain't gonna let me edit that. Bump it. I'm pinning it anyway. We're a couple episodes in, man. We being consistent.
You know it.
You know what I mean? Saying? We had an idea and we brought it to life, man. Manifesting some things. You did.
Mm-hmm.
So this topic comes from my inbox, man. One of the many topics that a queen had, and I thought it'd be real important to expound on it because I think we all feel like we're not in the right position in society as black men and women, but particularly I think sometimes women feel left out. Even though they're not in a bunch of different ways as black men, we can tell y'all that, but y'all probably wouldn't see it or understand it. Or know what to look for that matter. I ain't gonna say understand it. You probably wouldn't know what to look for because a lot of agendas are hidden, and with these agendas being hidden, it kind of make people feel like they're not there because they don't like see it in their face. We've been taught as a society to if it hits you in the face, it's real, and if it don't hit you in the face, it ain't real. You know what I mean? And so we gonna kind of dispel that idea tonight. You know what I'm saying? Or expound on it so you'll understand. Black women, y'all ain't left out, but I feel like jumping into the topic, I feel like how can I say it? I don't feel like black women are left out. I just feel like there's not a spotlight on them to the degree that they think it should be, I guess. I'm thinking that's where that came from. Yeah, like you know how people, like certain people want attention, and I think that's a female trait, to be honest. I think they want a certain type of attention or feel like there's a needed attention in order to feel importance. I think that's what it is, but as far as like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna let you start this one because my mind can go a lot of different ways with this, bro. You know what I'm saying? Is the black woman in her rightful position in the black society?
I mean, I feel like the discrepancy is okay. We say rightful position, as in like, okay, is she appreciated for being the head of the household? Is she supposed to be the only head? Because if we coming from the standpoint of most African American people, it's like most of our family dynamics aren't normal. Most normal family dynamics is more male led. Like the man goes out, he's the breadwinner, he's the one who sets the most of the disciplinary things that go toward kids. He's the provider, the protector. You know what I'm saying? But now, because a lot of us come from so many different broken homes, it's like now women are having to feel both roles for the most part. And it's not all
Indeed.
it's not all black men's fault, because you know what I'm saying, a lot of women have been incentivized to not be, you know what I'm saying, to not have a regular couple or marriage relationship. You feel what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Because
Indeed.
we do have the welfare system where a lot of women are incentivized. Once they have children, you don't need the man. We do have the movement that's still relevant as far as like independent woman movement. So it's almost like, okay, for the most part, women themselves hold themselves up as their head, and for the sake of playing devil's advocate, the only lead
So
for a black household.
so with that being said, then is it the fact of is women putting too much strain on themselves? BJ, what's up? Ventrisa, what's up? Uh, is BJ? I mean, dang, is BJ? Are women putting too much pressure on themselves, or is it? I'm gonna say it like this. So you said something about the incentivizing women to not really have men in the household, and that came from the whole uh what's the word I'm looking for? Food stamp program. That's all I'm gonna say it like that. You know, the Section 8 programs and stuff. So if the man in the house, then the woman can't qualify for it or can't get it. So the woman feel like, hey, I got to do what's best for me and mine. So boom, I'm gonna jump into that. And I think a lot of that plays a hefty part in the way that some women think, especially nowadays. And I don't think they're guided
Properly.
exactly. I don't think they got it properly. I think they're like, I think we lost a lot by Devon. What up, bro? I think we lost a lot by black women, by women themselves getting those certain type of incentives or being counted as minorities. And so when they started counting women as minorities, it kind of say, well, you know, I don't need that family structure. But what you lack in the family structure is the male female balance, the perfect balance in society. And I want black people in society to go back, and even if you don't believe in Egyptology or the Kemetic sciences and stuff like that, I want y'all to pay attention to how that they structured those beliefs, because the first Holy Trinity that was brought forth was black man, woman, and child. And so that black man, woman, and child, you have the perfect balance, and that's that divine feminine, you know what I'm saying, and that divine masculine. And long as it's not toxic. I'm not saying telling women to stay in no toxic relationship. That's bad for the whole. You know what I mean?
Glad that, because a lot of women just feel like they have to be in a relationship. Like, no,
man, it's power in being single, and men need to understand that as well. It's real power in being single, and understanding who you are and getting to knowing who you are, because in that place of quietness, you hear God speak. You know, whether you believe in God or not, you hear God speak, and whether you believe that's an internal you or something outside of you, you started looking at yourself in different ways. And Jay got it. What's happening? K, what's up with your sleepy self?
I'm laying one.
What up, Los? And another thing I want to headline this with too, man. I want y'all to think about this as well. I was watching that Nick Cannon and KRS-One on Cannon's class, and they said something that you can jump to it. It's around 30 minutes when he said this, but KRS-One said his wife came up with an acronym, and the acronym is BLAME. Because looking in the mirror ain't easy, right? So when we start pointing fingers at people or society, we have to start pointing fingers back at ourselves and like really understand why we're not in the position that we want to be in, whether it's relationship, financial, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Understand like you're at where you're at because something in your life put you there. It's not just happenstance. You know what I mean? So like really, really, you know what I'm saying? Like dive down into that as well when you start looking at yourself or why you feel like you may not be in the right position, man. But back to topic, when all that incentivized, the TANF checks and all that stuff started coming out, women was like, fuck it, we don't need no nigga in the house. So when you erase that male perspective, not only are you losing that discipline, like you were saying, but you also lose some type of form of ideas. Because like I tell a lot of people, and I caught on to this late, but your kids look at you like superheroes regardless. Like whether you the crackhead or whatever else, to some point your kids gonna look at you like a superhero until you really fuck over, and then when you really fuck up, then they gonna like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't fucking with that nigga no more, especially when they get older. So we have to look at that as well, even if it's just a planting a seed, a thought in a child's head. Even if that daddy might not be the best daddy in the world, he might not have the most money, planting an idea is a lot more powerful than somebody just, you know what I'm saying, like the negative energy being around them all the time. So you need those positive role models around you as well. But putting the black women back on the pedestal, that's something I think society took down as a whole. But if you want to get super technical in it, I'm gonna throw it back to you in a second, Smurf. If you look at slavery, the black woman was the head regardless, right? So when Massa got sick, they went to the black woman. When Massa needed his slaves in check, they kind of went to the black woman. You have to think that you always, as a black woman or woman, period, you're at the head of leadership in a way, whether you want to be or not. And how can I say it, man? We learn a lot from our women, whether we want to or not. And I think that's very important as women, because how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you are in public, has a lot to do with your position as an individual in society as a whole, or even in the black community or in another black man's eyes. We have to kind of look at ourselves. That's what that BLAME acronym is for, you dig? So kick it back to you, bro.
I mean, I feel like I know you said something about they put a lot of pressure on themselves earlier in your dialogue, man, and I really feel that, because as far as like a pedestal, nobody hold up their mama on a higher pedestal than black people in black society.
Most definitely.
Let's just keep it G. But what I feel like what messed up their position was, it wasn't that they're lower in position. I felt like it got too high to where it became unbalanced, to where now the reciprocation from that unbalance is what is occurring now. You got so many single moms.
Mm-hmm.
You got so many kids out here that don't have a father figure.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, it's almost like now, because most men aren't being raised by men due to whatever may have occurred with the woman and whatever male she was dealing with in order to have a child. It's like where's the balance? Because now so much power has been taken away from, okay, the male side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, for the most part, yeah, some of us get the ones of us that do look out for our kids get a, a little love, but not to the standpoint to where it's like, you know what I'm saying, not where mama at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like maybe moms need to dial it back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the good fathers, appreciate the good men to want to come in and be a father figure, even if he may not be the father figure, the actual biological father for your child. If he's like a person, like a coach or whatever, uphold that person. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't go out here and just shit on men every chance you get. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
I always be in a position where, yeah, I'm independent because I got to be, but at the same time, I'm going to always be looking for a male figure to, you know what I'm saying, show my kids the balance that black society should have always had.
So I'm going to say this then, like, because I've seen situations and been in situations where I think pride plays a lot into it. And I'm gonna say pride because of certain women, they're in a position where they need help, and some men might want to step up and help you, but they're not willing to dumb down their aggressiveness in a way. They feel like they got to be, and that's what I mean by they put too much pressure on yourself. Oh, I got to do this on my own. I'm in this by myself, and you're not in that by yourself. And that goes back to I'll say speaking things into existence. The more you keep believing you in it by yourself, the more you're gonna be by yourself, because that tape is keep playing over and over again in your head. But you can have help, you know what I mean? And it's gonna be help there. It might not be in the form that you want it in, and that's another thing that we have to start looking at ourselves. You know, looking back in that mirror. Just because you say you want help and you think you need help in a certain way doesn't mean that the universe is gonna send that type of help your way. It might not necessarily be exactly how you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? And we have to understand that as individuals, on many different levels. But like, some women refuse help. Like, even when it comes to raising their kids, I've been in situations where women like, oh, we ain't doing that, or my son ain't doing this, or that's too rough. Like, I'm gonna bring this situation up because I've been in a couple relationships where women already had kids in, and one of the relationships I was in, she kept saying I was being too rough on her boys. And I was like, they're boys and they're gonna be men. Do you want your boys to come out to be mama's boys as women don't like? Or do you want them to come out to be men and be able to stand on their own? Do you want to develop him to a point of being a husband for somebody? Because that's ultimately what you're doing. You know what I mean? And it was getting in, like, one of them was getting in trouble real bad. Is that in the third? He even got to the point where he kind of like he wanted to raise his hands at his mom, and I squared off on him. You know, and I don't care how old you is, that ain't finna happen. That'll never happen. Square off with Jackie you want to. She gonna give you something you wish you ain't have, boy. I swear to God. But it came a point in time where one of her older sons needed to learn how to tie a tie, and this is what I mean by that one idea, that one concept. He needed to learn how to tie a tie, and my daddy taught me going to church in the morning, and I remember how to tie that tie. So I remember how to tie the tie, and I showed him. I about want to say it was for prom or something. It was for something he got dressed up for, and he remembered how to tie that tie. And then it came a point in time where he went off to the military. And I talked to him one night, and he was like, I appreciate you for teaching me how to tie a tie, because we had to tie a tie for some type of ceremony or service, and I remember how you showed me how to do it, but a couple other boys didn't know how to do it. So that's what I mean by those simple ideas, man, like, or simple tactics. And y'all probably never see me wear a tie, but I can get in there and I can make one pop off with the quickness. You know what I'm saying? So I think we don't value enough on those small principles that a child can carry through their lifetime versus the rat now. And I think society as a whole is a rat now society, and I think that plays a lot of parts in it too.
Yeah. Real talk, man. I just feel like, man, black women, man, like I said, black society, they at the highest position they can be in. I just feel like they too high right now. They've been too high for so long to where they can't. It's hard to balance it out, because now you need the men, especially during times like this. You feel what I'm saying?
Expound on that a little bit more. What you mean they too high?
I feel like they too high to the standpoint, like I said, like, too many women want to be independent. Feel me? Like, they say they want a relationship, but then if you was to observe their actions don't show they want a real relationship, especially with the men that they're choosing. Now, it ain't fully on them to blame, because maybe they learned certain habits from
their mom
or women they grew up around.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? But I feel like, you know what I'm saying, if they embrace more of that masculine principle, man, embrace good men. Because I'm saying this because, like, on days like Father's Day, going down my timeline, I should not have seen in 2020 more posts about women claiming to be fathers, happy Father's Day to me, women shitting on the, you know what I'm saying, their sperm donors. That shit not been to play on Father's Day.
Yeah,
but embrace the, you know what I'm
saying? That's what I mean by that divine masculine and divine feminine. I think society has put it on women to take on that role so much that's what's that's the main narrative now. You know what I mean? Because the main narrative is more so on the side of, you can be an independent woman, you can have your own business, you can do you know what I'm saying, this, that, and the third. And I'm not saying they can't, but what I'm also what they're not realizing is you also have to have that male principle. That male principle is there for a reason. You know what I mean? You can't just knock it out the way. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had those kids that you have. You know what I mean? Unless you on some, unless you wanted to do the in vitro surgery, but that still takes a man's sperm. So the man is there for a reason, and I think society has put it on women that you can be this and you can be that and you can be this, and women achieve it. And I've seen a lot of independent women, successful women, not know how to play a feminine role. They know how to play more of a manly role than a feminine role. And when I say something about it, oh, you just want me to be submissive. Being submissive is part of the relationship on the man and the female side as well. You know what I mean? It's not just it's not just a it's not just a one gender based thing. You know what I mean? You have to be, a man have to have feminine properties sometimes because of, we need to nurture the kids a certain way, or we need to talk to a woman a certain way. We can't just be aggressive like when I'm talking to Smurf. I can't be that same way with my old lady because it ain't gonna translate well. You know what I mean? So there's a divine feminine and a divine masculine needed on both sides. Now, I think women too have to understand that they were the first people deemed as gods in African culture. One of the first temples was built was for a woman, and that was for a reason. What up, J-Boat? In African culture, the first deity was a woman, and what I'm saying by that is we held women so high of a standard. LJ Let's Spark, what it do? Where they was held at so high of a standard, but then when we come down to today's society, things got dumbed down so far, and religion got so twisted that it made women look like they was less powerful, and they're not. They're actually the most. I'ma always believe that they're the most powerful creatures on the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just saying people, beings, not just saying creatures like in the insect capacity. That's not what I'm saying. But as an overall, they have a lot more energy, involved things in different places. I don't think they know how to tap back into it. I think if black women tap back more into that feminine side, that nurturer side, because when a man come home, he wants something soft to lay on. Now, whether that be a pillow or a woman, or when that man been dealing with society all day and he's tired, and when he come home, he getting more instead of, hey baby, we got this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and we're gonna be all right. Instead of that support, you know what I mean? I think a lot of black men give support to a lot of women and it doesn't reciprocate. You know what I mean? They think it's just one-sided, and it's not one-sided. It's a reciprocation effect. The energy that I give you, I expect it back tenfold. And if it's negative energy, it's negative energy. But if you're in a situationship like that, then exit. You know what I mean?
Indeed. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to come off like, you know what I'm saying, that I'm basically trying to tell women to completely dial it back.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But it's just, we got to have that. We got to make it important to have a level of balance. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You got to, if you want a functioning black society, you have to have a completely balanced relationship as far as like the black man, the black woman. There has to be that understanding. Mm-hmm. Like I said, no other society in the world upholds their mothers like black people uphold their society. Mm-hmm. But no other society's women bashes their men the way black women in America bash their men.
Ooh, what it do, Tylen? What it do, bro?
Feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if we can somehow get to that positive cohesion amongst each other, to where it's like, okay, we can come together and we can really work on our relationship and try to build something. You know what I'm saying? Without strife and negativity, then I feel like it'll be in a good place. Because I'm not saying, man, that we ain't got to step our game up, because indeed we do.
Indeed.
But at the same time, nobody in America has been attacked more and undermined more than the black man.
And again, too, like that's what, I mean, let me crunch this real quick. Look, what Dr. Ben, I think I watching a Dr. Ben Ben Clark lecture, and he was saying um no society is ever higher than how their women are treated or perceived or looked at. So if we look at the women, and let's just say we see women keep picking the wrong dude, then nobody in your immediate vicinity, town or whatever, dang, that just threw me off. Then nobody in your immediate vicinity is gonna respect you to the level you want to be respected because you got 100,000 miles on yourself. You know what I mean? That mileage don't roll back; it only rolls over. So if you look at your, that's what that blame acronym come from. Like, you gotta look at yourself, man. Like, if we start looking at each other, I mean, we start looking at ourselves in a microcosm or macro. I think it might be macro, but if we start individually looking at ourselves and say, I'm not accepting this, and this, and I'm not going out the house looking like this, and this, and I won't allow my kids to do this, and this, then when a man approaches you, he has to put you on that pedestal. He can't just approach you sliding in your DMs, let me get something. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a conversation, and when that conversation is exchanged, you're gonna know where that dude's at. You know what I mean? So therefore, you lifting your self-esteem up by doing that. Only thing I say is don't put it so high that you can't even achieve what you setting your standards for. So if you can't go to Benny Hunters and go buy you and your family a plate, then you can't expect your man to take you to Benny Hunters and do that either. You know what I'm saying? If you can go to McDonald's and you can hit off that dollar menu, then if your man take you to McDonald's and you eat off that dollar menu with him, that ain't a bad option. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody that's struggling with you at the point in time, but maybe y'all can build something together. You know what I mean? Understand what you're trying to build and understand where you at and respect where you at, because it's a learning phase. Don't get with me because you see me going over here, I'm driving this, I'm driving that, and think you just automatically gonna get it. That ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? What's how?
I mean, but that's human nature though, man. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, that's just animal nature. Animals go where, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna get the most food from. Where you can find the most food, that's where animals go. And that's naturally what women do. They want to protect her and provide her. And the more protection, the more provision that they can see a man can provide, even if it's illusionary, because, you know, social media has skewed a whole lot of people's financial situation.
Yeah, indeed.
That's what they're gonna go for first, especially when they get older. You know what I'm saying? Because now they want that security, that protection when they get older. But when they're younger, a lot of women tend to fall off because you dealt with dudes that the criteria for a young woman for the most part is he attractive as hell? You feel what I'm saying? Is he a hot boy? Is he out here? Is his name big as far as like in a social setting, like in the streets?
Yeah.
Or whatever? Can he dress good?
Mm-hmm.
You know I'm saying, and is he funny? Is he funny as hell?
You really think it's that low with most women?
Young women, not older women.
So
older women.
Give me an age bracket. Now I done seen some older women like that too, fam. I ain't.
See, they still young minded. You feel what I'm saying? And usually them the women that speak for most black women, those type of women. You did what I'm saying? So I'm mainly speaking to those type of black women who still young when they're older, because older black women, they want provide, they want provisions, they want security, they want a stable home, they want to be able to travel. Yeah. And they want all that, but usually by the time they get there, you done fucked off with, you know what I'm saying, the dope boy, them hot boy Wayne, them, Tunchi them. And you know what I'm saying, he done fell off because he couldn't sustain that lifestyle he had going on with you, and he bouncing around for women and not. You got all these kids, and most niggas by the time they get to that point, they weren't getting no play when they finally get their shit together. So when they get their shit together, they don't want the woman that got all the baggage with them.
Hell nah.
Straight up, they just keep it G. That's just, you know what I'm saying, that's just game 1-on-1 now.
That 1,000 though, man. I think too, like when I don't want to say it like that. Okay, so I'm gonna jump back and say mindset, because what we dealing with a lot is mindset. So if you're not in your mind, if you don't feel like you're in the right position, start labeling those things. Why am I not in the right position? Like, why am I at this point in my life? And if the man falls on that list, because we as men have to up our women more, but women, y'all have to understand that we can't up y'all more if y'all standards are set so low. I can only meet you where you at. You know what I mean? If I can meet you where you at and all you doing is starting, then don't expect nothing else more from me. You know what I'm saying? But if I see you got your kids on point, like I said, your crib straight, I don't give a damn if it's just the projects. We all started somewhere. You know what I mean? And excuse me. It's about where you want to go. Like, where do you see yourself? Where do you want to go? And how do you want people to look at you? Again, that goes back to mindset, because how you think of yourself might be how some other people think of you, but it also might be how you projecting. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Be careful on what you projecting into the world. And I think principle wise, and I'm gonna jump over to the 5% Nation with this. Brought to you by Clarence 13X. If you look at the 5% Nation, they have a saying in the 5% Nation saying the man is the sun. So not the sun is a SON, but the SUN.
The woman is the earth.
We the light. The woman is the the woman is the moon. So
I heard the earth.
I get to that. So the woman is the moon because the moon is a reflection of the sun in astrology. So if the man is the sun and the woman is a reflection of him, and the children are the stars. So if your man projecting something negative on you, then it's on him, but it's also how you picked him. You know what I mean? Right. So if that man is on some powerful uplifting things, then you're gonna be uplifted as well. But if that dude on some BS thing, you're gonna be in the BS with him, and then your children gonna fall behind. What you speaking on when it's saying the women of the earth, that's when they start talking about them degrees. You know what I'm saying? The women of frozen earth, they 33 degrees, they can't be built upon. So you also have to be open minded.
Indeed.
So you know you can't build nothing on a frozen earth, and water freezes at the temperature of 31 to 30. Is it 31 or 33 degrees Celsius?
32.
32. So there we go. But yeah, man, it's I think it's all about imagery, but I also want women to think of the structure that you want, or the structure that you thought you might have had, and who you having it with. But in a society as a whole, we can't look at you no more than what you are.
Just like they don't look at men no more than what they are.
I think it's so I'm let me see if I can reframe this in a way. Is it a self-esteem issue on a personal level, and on a community level, it would be more of a how men look at women and how women look at men. Because like you said before, you know, we too busy yakking at each other, you know what I'm saying? Like negative energy, and we're not in a process of building. So put it like this, an example like this. If I see a young lady on the street, I say, "Peace, queen, what's up?" And she's look at me with the funny face. You know what I mean? It's like I was just speaking. Like some women think that that's he finna get at me because he said that type thing. You know what I mean? So like, is it because of our initial reaction towards each other and that builds alone, so to speak? You get what I'm saying? Like, does it start? It starts at a point where interacting with men and women, us bigging each other up and not knocking each other down, and then it builds from that point on to where it builds to the point where the whole community is looked at as, you know what I'm saying? So people that's like about their business.
At this point in time, you know what I'm saying, since we're in the age of awakening, like we have to have that awareness of ourselves in our position.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We have to know that the dynamics of the normal Black family household is not going to be the same today as they were decades ago. for various reasons. You know what I'm saying? Various corrupt reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm saying? And what you were saying is basically like the attitude. Like at this point in time, we know all the things that we went through. We know all our issues that we facing as a society.
Mm-hmm.
Can we at least change our attitude to change the dynamics of our relationships? Like you said, you know what I mean? If I walk up to a woman right now and I say, "What's up, Queen? How you doing?" Is she gonna scoff at me, or she just gonna give me that respect, like, "Hey, how you doing, King?" Or you know what I'm saying? Just keep it regular.
Yeah.
Can we get to that point to start somewhere? Because you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's still too many of us that just out here I'm just gonna do my own thing. It's too many women, man. Fuck these niggas. Too many hoes. We got to change that, man. At this point, you dig?
Yeah.
And at the same time, you know, it's gonna be hard because statistics do show now. I don't know how true they are. That right now,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be very hard for black women to settle down with black men, especially because black women in Georgia, I heard, I'm saying, you know, since we stay in Georgia, outnumber men 13-1.
Damn.
13-1. So it's 13 black women for every one black man due to violence. You know what I'm saying? A lot of black men in the mental health institutes right now. A lot of black men in prison.
Yeah.
The double whammy, the agenda they really pushing, since they done locked us all up with the 3 strikes and all these different you know what I'm saying, policy or laws that was put in place due to drugs that locked us up. You got the gay movement. You know what I'm saying? Supposedly there's a lot of people going gay now. So now, you feel me? And they pushing the narrative of, you know what I'm saying, who's upheld the most in black society that women look for? The athletes, the celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to try to get the closest thing to that now. Feel me? Can black women go outside of that narrative to really look at the dudes that they dealing with in order to choose the right mate? And I'm gonna keep it G. Some of y'all gonna have to bunk up. I say that?
Hey, so all right. I always got looked at crazy when I brought this topic up about polygamy. And I didn't understand polygamy until I looked at it through a scholarly eye point. Because when we young minded and we thinking about I just say when we younger, we're not taught to think critically on a mental level what polygamy is. We look at it as the physical standpoint of just, hey, he fucking her and fucking me and I ain't finna have it. So
right.
when I think of polygamy, that goes back to how our society was ran before we was invaded upon as well, because there was polygamy with men and there was polygyny with women as well. So what a woman was the head of the household and she had a couple different dudes. So like I think we have to dig back down into who we were to understand where we need to go. So we can't look at our society as the same token or on the same level as how white people or Chinese people live in their society and how they operate and run things. You know what I mean? We have our own individual personality as a community. Now, I think polygamy could work for black women and black men only because, like you just stated, not only with those numbers, but when we were trying to build something, every society was built on the back of.
Those numbers are just for Georgia now. I don't want people to think it's American wide. I don't know, but I'm just speaking for Georgia.
Shit, I'll Google it real quick. But when we think of building, what I'm getting to on the economic side, when we look at building, all societies that we see today was built on some type of form of slavery. Somebody working for free or working for bare minimums. But we don't have that now. And a lot of the jobs are going away because we're going to a digital era. So if we want to build, we're going to have to either go back to what we was doing with polygamy is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? A man having multiple wives or a woman having multiple husbands. And if y'all are okay with that construct, then so be it. You know what I mean? Long as it's building and long as it's teaching, because what you looking at when it becomes, just say it's me and two other women. If you look at polygamy like it wasn't no threesomes involved in it like that. It was just, is that man capable financially enough to sustain both women or to sustain both households? What up, Big Dun? Is that man capable of teaching each one of those children if that comes into play? Is that man able to take you to a different level? So you have to base it on something that's tangible and not an idea of something. Like not just a complete fuzzball idea, you know what I'm saying? Or just cause idea type situation. But I really think polygamy could work for us because no matter how far you go back in our history books, that's what you see or have seen. I'll say that. I'm finna pull up these stats real quick though.
Yeah, man, and really, like when it comes to polygamy, man, people got to stop, especially women. You got to stop looking at it from a standpoint of, oh man, this girl, he just want to smash multiple women, and you feel what I'm saying? He just want to, you know what I'm saying?
Man, listen though, I'm gonna say this for women as well. Yo, nigga got a side nigga a side woman anyway. I hope he ain't got no side nigga, but
hey, look, hey, you say that? All them posts about, see all these street niggas that's why they want to be with their homies all the time. See, they be over there having
man, no. The reason why these street niggas want to be with their homie all the time, because it ain't always a BS type of argument, man. That's why. And that goes back to the blame. You know what I'm saying? Looking at yourself in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? If you look at yourself in the mirror and say, what am I doing to make that nigga not want to come home? Or men, what am I doing to make that woman not want to come home or not step up to the level that I want her to step up to? Maybe it's communication problem. Maybe it's how you talk to them. If you like, you have to like start strategically looking at each individual thing to say, it ain't just me. I mean, it ain't just he want to run away. Am I pushing him or her away? You know what I mean?
And don't overthink a dude. Just because a dude might want to kick it with the homies or have his own alone time, that don't always mean that you got to overthink and to think he out here fucking off, especially if y'all got that just one-on-one relationship. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, so I just pulled up the stat. On Google. So the ratio of men to women in the USA, it's 97 men to 100 women. So hold up, I'm gonna screen share real quick. I don't know if it's gonna kick my mic out, but I'm gonna just put it up on the screen so y'all can see it real quick. Where my button at? Oh, right here.
So think about that. Now you're gonna have to multiply that number probably 10, 20-fold when it comes to black men and black women, especially.
No, well, shit. Let's do it like this then. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, black male population in the United States was 21.5 million in 2013. This is 48% of the total population compared to black females, who make up 52% of the black population. Compared to all males in America, black males are on average younger at 31 years old compared to the age of all males is 36 years old. That's going something. That's going something real deep right there. But that was in 2013 as well, though.
So 4%, that's a big difference right there.
Yeah, it is.
When you calculate millions of people, we know we all concentrated in
certain areas.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
I don't know, man. I think we gotta. As black men, I think we have to uphold our women. But I think black women, we need to uphold each other, man. We can't just put it on the black men to make you, Queen Sheba. You have to present yourself as Queen Sheba, and we have to present ourselves as a Shaka Zulu or whoever else you look up to, in order to be put on that pedestal. But like again, we see what these numbers looking like with this with these ratios, right? So your nigga probably got a side chick.
Now look, we don't want to say that because you know you got women on here that's in relationships right now, but you know let's just look at.
I'm gonna put it like this: any woman that watched this podcast, I need you to comment below if you've ever been cheated on, or if you know your man had a side chick and you said nothing about it. I'm telling you that shit, high, bro. I've known women, and I've spoken to different women that say, "Oh, I know he was out there doing that, but long as he ain't get her pregnant, I ain't care. And long as he was taking care of the household." Now, this was the thought process when you go look and you listen to those Betty Wright records. Like, y'all wasn't peeping game on them records. Like, I know you out there sleeping with such and such, but I make sure you come home. Just be good to me. Just be good to me. That song pretty much was about, it's like, I don't care what the others say, as long as you good to me. I know it's women down the road that you dealing with, but long as you good to me, I don't care what else nobody else is saying. Now, people thought that was I guess that pretty much was a side chick role. Or I'm the main chick and I know you got a side chick. That is polygamy. That's what polygamy is.
How many women put on their post and shit today? Yeah, if I was smashing your man, I'm gonna give him back to you and all this shit here. I'm like, why y'all even going through all this extra
exactly. Shit? But that goes back to us going back home. Us going back to our original teachers and how we originally built the world. You know what I mean? Like, we have to find a balance on. Now, I'm not saying polygamy or polygyny is for every man and every woman. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is find out what's good for you and live by it. Like, like some of these preachers do. They cut out parts of the Bible and they live by that and say they're preachers. Just cut out what's good to you and help you build forward and go on with your life. And stop worrying about what everybody else is saying. I think that's another thing that plays a part into this too. You know what I'm saying? About the black woman being her rightful place. Do you even know what your rightful place is? How could you be in your rightful place if you don't know what your rightful place is? That going back to knowing yourself. That goes back to knowledge of self. Understanding, comprehending, and being. You know what I mean? You can't expect me to put you in $1 million home if all I ever seen you stay was in the projects. I'm not gonna do
that. Now, even with that,
it's levels to all of it. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Let's just. All right. So what do you think another perspective that you can give on that, or
like if you
analogy or whatever?
If you coming from nothing and you want something, you feel what I'm saying? A man, for the most part, ain't gonna see no problem with bringing no beautiful woman from out the slums if she ain't got no baggage, if she working towards something and she got a mind. Mm-hmm. Most men do that. Do women do that for men?
Hell no.
Hell no. Now, granted, they'll have a little street nigga that'll be their little, you know what I'm saying, cut buddy. They'll do that. But as far as like moving the young nigga in, building him up, making him like you feel me, like a made nigga, like how a man might pull a woman out the slum. Nah, it usually don't happen. But men can do that, but at the same time, the only time a man can do that is if she ain't got all that baggage that comes with the slums.
Agree.
If you ain't got all that baggage from the slums that we all know comes with the slums, if you fully, you know what I'm saying, engulf yourself in that shit, then you ain't got to worry. You ain't got to have no problem worrying about no man. You ain't gonna have no problem with having a family. Cause man, listen, boy, niggas will sell their soul for a beautiful woman who ain't got no shit going on. For real.
Hey,
they keep it, you know.
Hey, I always tell a lot of people if a woman is 25 years or older and she can cook and don't have no kids, she is a unicorn, bro. Absolute unicorn era.
Got something going on and she ain't still stuck over goddamn little Tunchi them.
Boy, I'm talking about that should be unicorn. So I think that goes back what you were saying though. I think that goes back to women being taught that a man should come take care of them and swoop them up from a younger age. Like when Candy Mama, I think, when I was watching that podcast with Escape, she was like, her mama said at the age of 15, don't go get you no broke nigga, pretty much, in a sense. I'm just paraphrasing too. So like she's taught to get somebody that can take care of you. And I think the other part of that was don't just marry for love. So like you're taught to get to the bag up front. What happens if we just somehow transverse that? You know what I mean? That issue, that thought process.
I mean, you got to detail it, because I'd rather mom say don't just get you a broke nigga or a rich nigga, get you an established dude who's good to you. That's what the narrative should be, you know what I'm saying, focused on, because you don't want to just get no asshole with money who treat you like shit, do you any way just because he got money. You don't want that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to be leery of the type of dudes you dealing with. If you dealing with a dude, yeah, he may be cool and all, but he ain't got no drive. He ain't got no money. You run around in circles trying to help this nigga figure out himself and all this extra ass shit. Come on, man. Stop wasting your time with shit like that. Especially if he one of them niggas that just out here hanging, got hella kids and damn stuff that he don't take care of.
So have a man with a dream, or have a woman with a dream, and that's actively pursuing. What up, cuz? And that's actively pursuing it, because in my mind frame now, since I'm actively pursuing a lot of different dreams, I don't have time, and I peeped the BS early. That might be because I done got older and wise, and I've been through a bunch of BS too. But I'm learning to peep the BS at an early stage. You know what I'm saying? Just through conversations, or if I say, "Hey, you should try this," and she like, "I don't want to try that." Boo. I bet deuces. I'm not even finna deal with you on that level. You know what I'm saying? I done did a couple women like that. I'm like, why you stop calling me? It's like, did you not hear what you said? Like, you're not thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that builds a point to where if you know what you want as a man and she know what she wants as a woman, it makes it easier for that community to gel. You know what I mean? It makes it easier for that relationship to build forth. And when that relationship builds forth, then that woman can raise another young woman to say, hey, this is what I did. You might not see it the same way, but this is how I did to get where I'm at. And if they can actively see it, oh, she just wasn't out there tricking on some thought-ish, then it triggers that mind, and that builds the black woman back to that pedestal that we talking about, being represented as God. You know what I'm saying? Understanding where she is and where she's at. I don't know if that's a whole community issue though. I think it's a community issue, but we have to deal with it on individual levels.
Yeah, and we got to be more patient with each other, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
You know, so like you said, old girl, mama told her at 15, don't get you no broke nigga.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between being broke and just being in poverty.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always fix broke. You feel me? But you got to be patient enough to fuck with a dude long enough to where he may love you, but he might not be in that position to want to, you know what I'm saying, completely settle down how you want to, because he had to move and trying to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all could establish it, but I mean, it has to be a level of patience, because I feel like a lot of women now, you know, a lot of women got their shit together. They get money now. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to wait on old buddy over here who, you know what I'm saying, he got the right mindset, you know what I'm saying, got the grind, but he ain't quite there financially yet. He ain't ready to move in and all this yet. A lot of women don't wait on cuz like that.
Yeah.
Well, we got to be patient enough to, you know what I'm saying, let people get themselves together so we can eventually get to that cohesion. You know what I mean?
We got to start grooming each other too. But just because, you know, buddy in an effed up place or shawty in an effed up place, as long as they mind open up and they willing to learn and build, man, that's something to build on. Like I was saying, you know, the 33 degrees, you can't build on the frozen earth at all. But if that earth is like a moldable clay, And I ain't gonna say she or he has to take on everything that you say, but if you can see him taking on a little bit and then getting to it, then that's another thing. Because I have been in situations where I was showing people something and they never did it while we was together. Then we separated. 5 years later, come back down the line. Hey, I've been doing this, and it's working. I appreciate you for telling me that. It's like, why the hell it took you 5 years to catch on to that? Okay, so now I have to look at myself and say, hey, maybe you were too advanced for that female. Maybe she's not really on your level. So next female I go look at, and that's why I'm chilling like I'm chilling now. The next one I go look at, let me see if we can have these type of conversations. Let me see if we can talk about the political structure in America. Let me see if we can talk about how to financially grow and build economics. See if we can even talk about, I kid you not, bro. I talked to my baby mama, I want to say my son was probably about 8, about homeschool. And look where we at now in society. Like, think about that. You have to, a woman and a man has to be able to say, well, maybe I don't completely see your vision, or maybe it's up to each other to explain the vision in better detail. But we, like you said, we have to be patient with each other. Like, if it's not a BS idea and you can completely write it off, I'm gonna rock with you on this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna rock with you on this, and we're gonna see where it go. And let's just say, in a excuse me, in a short term, let's see where this idea goes in the next 6 months, and we're gonna go from there. You know what I mean? Whether we throw it out with the bad, whether we throw it out or we just enhance that idea. We have to be able to communicate and build like each family structure as a business, like our relationships as businesses, because that's ultimately what it is. If you buying houses together, if you grabbing cars together, if you're taking care of the kids, then ultimately you're a business anyway. So why not look at it in a business model? You know what I mean? And I done had a lot of women told me, "Boy, that's crazy. You shouldn't look at it like that." But at the end of the day,
need to.
It is like you can't. When I die, you're gonna benefit from my insurance policy. When you die, I'm gonna benefit from your insurance policy. Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's ultimately a business. So if we do look at it like a business, and that's what marriage arrangements was for back in the day anyway, whether you talking about in the Quran, whether you talking about in the Bible, whether you talking about in ancient Egypt, or different people marrying to build stronger armies, like that's what the institution of marriage was from day one. So
it's an institution.
Yeah, like, so what are we getting away from what we think is just love, or I should be looked at in this light? Like, we can put you on that pedestal, like I said, but you have to earn that as well. You know what I mean?
And vice versa. You feel me? I know a lot of them. Hold on, it's vice versa. We get it.
Mm-hmm.
Vice versa. You feel me? You just got to have that understanding. We got to be patient with each other. And I got to address this point too. When you dealing with somebody, especially when I want to talk to women right now.
Uh-oh.
When you dealing with somebody, in the beginning stages of the relationship, I say the first 3 to 6 months, don't have no kids, man. Don't get lined up too early if the guy isn't in a situation where you feel like it's kind of shaky if this guy's gonna marry me or not. You feel me?
Expound on that, sir. Expound on that. I think you might be leaving some people. I got where you're going, but I think it needs to be like a little bit more detail in it.
Man, like, I know a lot of women who are angry about, not having that cohesion as far as like a man wanting to step up and stuff. Yeah. It's because women found themselves in a situation where they had kids prematurely by guys who wasn't ready to have kids, but, was willing to lay that wood down and not pull out.
Uh-huh.
You feel me? Now,
Peace Queen was good.
So now you in a situation where, okay, you want an established man, but as soon as he come into play, he walk in, he's seeing what's going on. As far as like the kids dynamic, he like, I don't know if I'm really ready to, you know what I'm saying?
The man up to take that responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
He ain't wrong for that. A lot of women want to say niggas ain't wrong for stepping up to take care of all them kids.
Yeah.
That nigga's not wrong for that.
Yeah, no, he most definitely
Just
ain't.
Gee, he is not wrong for wanting to take care of all your kids that you had from dudes that you don't like, who been had you bitter this whole time. Now, if you
Yeah.
find one like that, that's cool, but you can't get mad at the ones that don't.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Kids are beautiful, kids are a blessing, but at the same time, let's just keep it real. Now, most men, as domineering beings we are, we want to establish ourselves usually with women that don't have none.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
You know?
Jazz, inbox me your number. I'm finna call you. I don't
So
know if
why I
I still
say
got it, but woo, that
I
that
feel like
that was
a lot of
heavy.
women, yeah, a lot of women, especially black women, are angry. Women, these mainly women with kids. That's why I'm saying this the most.
Yeah.
They are angry at single dudes who don't want to step up to help them take care of the kids. It's like, come on, man. I'm sorry that you put yourself in that position, but it's like you're gonna have to find you one that's willing to do that. Usually, it might not be the most attractive dude to you. It might not be the, you know what I'm saying, that you know what I'm saying, super breadwinner you looking for, but he gonna hold it down. You feel me?
Okay, so that goes back to what we're looking at in society about what do you I think what do you want, and to back it up just a little bit too, when you was like don't jump off and have a don't have a dude, don't just jump straight up in a relationship with a dude and get knocked up. um
Please, please teach that to the younger women, please, please.
it goes back into having those conversations early on. You know what I'm saying? Having those hard to talk conversations early on. So you're having those conversations like, hey, do you want to have kids? Or if you got kids, do you want to have more kids? Or not only just saying what do you see yourself at in the next 5 years, but okay, so what are you doing to access your dream within the next 5 to 10 years? It might be a long grind, but you know what I'm saying? Like, so what are you doing to access your dream? So it comes a point where it's like self-reflection, but it also comes to a point of saying, even though we wasn't taught this as a younger generation, we wasn't taught this from our parents because they was just busy thinking about surviving or making it back home. um Once you're old enough, then that burden becomes your burden. It's no longer your parents' burden, because we have access to the internet 24/7, out to 24/7, 365. We have access to the internet. So there are people that, I ain't gonna say they probably 100% mentors, but there are some people that you can look at and say, well, these people doing this to get to that type of bag. I like what they doing. How can I make that my own? It's like I was telling my son tonight. I had him do a project this week, and the project was come up with 5 job titles that you think can benefit your lifestyle. Like when Mr. Ward was telling us that time. I need you to understand how much your house costs. I need you to understand how much your car costs. And then I want you to understand how you gonna get to that level. So write down 5 jobs, and in those 5 jobs, I need you to write down the money for it. How much money they gonna make a year, their salary income per year, and I need you to understand how to access that dream. So maybe if we become studious in ourselves like that, labeling what type of man we want or what type of woman we want, how are we gonna achieve this woman to get to that, get that woman like that? Like it just goes into details. I kind of lost my point in that, but it kind of just goes back in the details of being mindful of, like, what do you want? Like, how are you gonna access that dream? You know what
Got
I
to,
mean?
I mean, and once you put yourself in a position, like if a man got all this baggage, he can't expect out the gate to say, man, see, man, I need beautiful ass women who got their shit together, who ain't got no kids, to step it up and come fuck with me.
I
And be mad that you can't get the top tier. Because usually when you get to that standpoint, you ain't gonna get the top tier all the time.
Yeah.
But you have to have, once you in that position, you got to have a criteria. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Got to step your game up and teach the younger kids. Like, y'all got to have a criteria. Don't put yourself in a position where you gonna end up struggling trying to find a stable relationship later on.
Preach.
Feel me?
Preach.
That's what a lot of people at right now. It's later on now for a lot of us, and we struggling because of things that happen in our youth.
Mm-hmm.
And now you want the same things that you wanted in your youth on a higher level, but usually the guys that's on that higher level and women on that higher level don't want you because what you had going on back then is still around you now that you dealing with. Because a lot of people want help.
Stuck in that same place, man.
Yeah, stuck in that same place. It's like you got to build yourself up. You got to know yourself. You got to elevate yourself to a level to where it's like, man, I like what she got going on. I'm dropping everything. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? And it has to go both ways. You got to elevate. If you feel like your position is similar to what you had going on 5-10 years ago, then you can't expect to have something new until you change.
Yeah.
You got to do better before you want better.
Yeah. What do you think about women being submissive?
I mean, in certain aspects, I feel like it's okay to be submissive. Feel me? A lot of women want to be caressed and be, you know what I'm saying? I done been with a few women, bro, that told me straight up, like, I like when a man check me. Most women want a man to be a man to put them in their place from time to time. Not all the time, because you know what I'm saying, black women, y'all the strongest, hardest women in the world, we get it. But at the same time, you can't, you know what I'm saying, shit on us and expect us not to put our foot down from time to time in certain aspects.
Yeah.
Feel me? You're going to want a man to be a man. You're going to want a man to be stoic, know what he doing, non-hesitant. You know what I'm saying? About his business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's why we are protectors. When we was out here in them jungles, hunting, fending off all these wild creatures, we was doing it to provide food for you and protect you from the animals that might kill you. We wasn't being emotional about it. We was being logical about it. We was being logical about it. We was being hard about it. We bring that hard element to the table. That's what y'all want.
I think that's a damn, I just lost it. That's a emotional intelligence. We as men aren't on that spectrum of high emotional intelligence. Right. We're more on the spectrum of doing what we got to do to get to what we need. The logic, the straightforward point. I know I got to get up in the morning to get this bread, to bring home some bread so the family can eat. We're not dealing with the fact of, oh, you're not spending enough time, or you know what I'm saying, or you're not doing these things. And that's where that divine feminine and masculine comes in at too, especially when it goes back to, you know what I'm saying, the topic about raising kids in the household and making the woman, you know what I'm saying, in her rightful place. She also has to know how to do that balance of, all right, bro had a long week, I'm gonna make sure he's straight. Mm-hmm. He got this job promotion, I'm gonna cook his favorite meal. You know what I'm saying? And men, you got to do the same thing. Knowing your spouse is one of those things I think that will help us. Not only knowing your spouse, but knowing your circle. Like, if you trying to get to somewhere in life, and that circle ain't trying to get to that same place, you in the wrong damn circle. Right. So, like, I think that everything that we've talked about, it might not be strictly on topic, but I think they're all things that build that black woman back to that position of God or the idea of God, but it all cohesively works together because there's not one straightforward answer to anything that we be talking about because we look at it from so many different angles. So it's a point of saying, what things can we take to start building that perspective back up? And it's not going to be just one baseline thing. Or we got to dress like this. Or we got to, you know what I'm saying, act like this. It's a totality of things that we stand on to make us seem bigger. You know what I'm saying? And in a sense, you know what I'm saying? If y'all understand what I'm saying, like, I ain't 6 feet tall, you know what I'm saying, without 10 books. You know what I'm saying? But those 10 books are going to make your perspective change in life. So it's just different understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like, build on yourself as an individual, but also pay attention to who's in your circle, because if that circle is not helping you building, you know what I'm saying, intellect, then you kind of slacking. And I think, I don't know why this just popped in my mind. I think we have to stop letting other people tell us how to be in a relationship with our spouses. We do get that a lot, and I know in our community, well, you shouldn't be with that person because this, that, and the third, or he shouldn't be talking to her because this, that, and the third. So it's to the point of positive energy. So if your homegirl can tell me, if your homegirl can tell you something about me and it makes you treat me a certain way or act a certain way, then you kind of not running your own relationship. You kind of letting somebody outside of you run your own relationship. You know what I mean? And I think that's how we looking at it as a community. We looking at everybody else's standards, and we as the black community haven't came up with our own specific standard and criteria for our women and our men and our children. Like I said, there's certain religious aspects outside of Christianity that make things more understandable for me. That's why I liked the 5% Nation teaching. You know what I'm saying? The Clarence 13X teachings. That's why I like those teachings, because they make a lot of things more clear. But I also understand the Orisha teaching in the African traditions as well. It makes it more clear, to it's not so muddy. So that's why I'm saying I think we just gotta return back. And two, we have to look at it too. Like the 90s coming back in music, in fashion, and everything else. So why aren't we doing the same thing with our society? Why are we not going back and bringing things forward to help push us and push us into a new era? You know what I mean? Help project us and grow us into a new era, a new state of being. Like you said, if you hadn't changed in 5 years, then you kind of losing. So like just think about it. If we can bring those teachings from grandma, granddaddy, great grandma, and great granddaddy, and bring them together and build a better structure of family, I think that's what generations should be doing anyway. Each generation should be standing on the shoulders of their ancestors. That's another teaching that I understand now, because like I said, Dr. Ben them, if I can stand on my ancestors' shoulders, so if my son can stand on my shoulders and ain't got to work for nobody, what's up, cuz? If my son can stand on my shoulders and ain't got to work for nobody, or some of the teachers that I've taught him help him raise his son better or his daughter better, then you know what I'm saying? Like we're growing as a community, and I think we're losing that. But I think that's one of the things that we really have to like really understand. That's why I keep saying we got to go back. We have to find a foundation for us. You know what I'm saying? I think we can end it with just saying that. And I'm gonna say these few words, and you can end it out with your words. But once we start building a standard for us, how we should be treated, what are we looking for, and all these other things, and we're not building our standard on polygamy is a bad thing. We have to look at what we was in the past to understand where we was going, or where we going. In our society, polygamy was never a bad thing, so we can't take the white man's standard or the Asian standard and say that that's our standard. That's not. You know what I'm saying? And we have to understand that. And also too is like raising the kids. Our standards have to be higher for our kids, because we have to reach so much more further in society. Indeed. To even get to a certain place. You know what I'm saying? So I think to round off the, you know what I'm saying, the end of this discussion is, I think, like you said, black women, you're in your rightful place. But I think it's strictly based on perception of why some people don't feel like they're in their rightful place. And right. and if it is perception, then start looking at yourself, start looking at your circle to understand why that perception is so. You know what I mean? I think black women are in a great place because statistically speaking, black women are making the most money in our community. And
they're the most educated people in America too.
As well. So I think statistically we're in the right place. I think spiritually we might be in the wrong place, and that might have a lot to do with it. And I think mentally we're most definitely in the wrong place, because we haven't dealt with healing to a degree, whether it's from PTSD, from certain people being in the streets, or certain, like, even just, let's just say just random shit. Like, we going to the club having a good time, we come out and we hear gunshots. That's trauma, or that's PTSD. We, you know what I'm saying? We watching our own backs. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? We have to think about certain things like that. Just, you know, that's pretty much all I got for that, man. Like be patient as well. We all are healing. That's what I was trying to get at. We're all are healing in a way. So be patient with whoever you choose, and be patient with yourself, because we're not starting at ground zero anymore. We're kind of below, and we got to get to ground zero to keep going up. So if we -5, I mean, we got 5 steps in the right direction just to get to zero, and then we go up from there. And I think that goes back in how we look at each other, how we speak to each other, our perception to society, and how society views us. But we have no control over that last one I just said. But we have to be mindful of how we treating each other in the community, so you can be lifted to that next level. And I think that's the end of it. Put it a little bit more elegantly, sir.
I mean, you said it all for the most part, fam. To add on to it, I say, watch what influences you. I know you say your friends, but even what you watch on TV or your computer every day.
Yeah.
Look at your friends on Facebook. When you scrolling through Facebook, all that negativity that you seeing from a lot of your friends and stuff that's bashing men, always in some type of negative relationship, man, you might have to unfriend them. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to take those negative aspects that they got going on into your positive relationship. Because your relationship could be going good, but because you became so insecure, because you fed off their insecurities that you saw, it's making you question your relationship, and now it turns into this whole mosh pit of bull. You don't want that. Turn off the love and hip hop.
Please.
At least in your mind, realize that that's fake. It's fake. What you're watching is not real. You know what I'm saying? What it's doing, if anything, is influencing people to act like what you're seeing. And most of what you're seeing is negativity, because negativity draws in people's eyes. Most people want to watch something negative more than they want to watch something positive. You feel what I'm saying? Which is messed up, but we have to get out of that. You feel me? You got to be willing to love. You know what I'm saying? You can't be bitter from what you've been through. You have to understand your situation currently. And like you said earlier, in one of your earlier statements, take steps in order to get yourself out of your situation into something better.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a woman who's dealing with a lot of baggage from your past, and you want a good man to come in and step up. You got to be able to add something to the table. You can't be that woman that's always looking for help, because a lot of times men can prey on that. The same way women, gold diggers, prey on dudes who got money and stuff going on. Men prey on a woman that's vulnerable. Oh, I know what she got going on. I know all I got to do is throw a little this and this in the beginning. She gonna throw me a little this and that, and then I'm just gonna slide on the back end.
A little something.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to identify that. It can't be no dumb out here.
Yeah.
You dig? And and to go back to one of your points, attitude, man. When we see each other, man, we got to respect one another, man.
Yeah.
And women, y'all just can't, every time a dude give you a compliment, you so ready to bash him because you feel like he being thirsty.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that every time. Now, if he go over the top, that's when you shut him down. But you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of women that's out here, man, that's out the gate thinking you calling all these dudes thirsty and stuff for trying you, when if it was that right dude to try you the same way this dude tried you, you wouldn't try him like that. Give everybody that positive attitude first.
Yeah.
Straight up. You know what I'm saying? That can build that healthy cohesion amongst each other. You feel me? And my last statement, man, is shout out to my cousin Angie, man. R.I.P. family. We love you. We're gonna miss you, man.
Most definitely.
It was a blessing to be able to spend time with you growing up, man. You know what I'm saying? It was a shocker to me. Feel me? It was something that was somewhat, you know what I'm saying, foretold. So, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? That's life, man. Love your people while they here, man. Shout out to Angie, man. We're going to miss you, man. You know what I'm saying? Until we meet again. Ashe. Love you.
Peace. And we're going to end it on that, man. We're going to get at y'all later next week. Different topic. Maybe. I want to get on some ratchet stuff, brother.
Hey, man. Let Let me know, brother. We can make it happen. You dig?
I'm ready to get on something ratchet, man. And we might come in at an earlier time. I'm really thinking about changing that time, but we gonna see, man. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share, man. Drop your topics in the comments, inbox them. We gonna get to them, man. The more topics, the better, because we most definitely be, reading and researching on a bunch of different things. But peace, man. Y'all stay blessed, man. Love life. Love your
Man.
people.
Well, definitely. And once again, man, RIP Angie, man. Straight up.
Peace. We out, y'all.